Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be on the calf and ankle and Achilles tendon. I was inspired to make this video because I know a couple people that are into strength sports. They're into different kinds of athletic sports like soccer, football, basketball, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. So I think that this is something that's worth having. It deserves its own video. So I will be using a TheraBand for the video. This is a physical therapy band that you can get from Amazon. Your ankle is a very vulnerable joint in the body, almost like the hip joint. The hip joint is a ball and socket joint, and it's very vulnerable if you don't take care of it, and if you are not stretching and strengthening the muscles around it. Same thing goes with the ankles. So having strong ankles, well, first let me backtrack. Having weak ankles typically will hurt the person, the athlete, if they are specifically in sports like gymnastics. You are constantly doing a lot of jumps and plyometrics. So gymnastics, jiu-jitsu, depending on the position that the person has you, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, basketball, soccer is a really good one because you're on grass and you are really vulnerable to having an ankle accidentally collapse. And of course, football. So taking care of your ankles is really important. Unfortunately, a lot of people that have weak ankles, specifically women, they tend to have weaker ankles. Especially if she uses heels, because the floor, you're elevated, and you're constantly walking like this. It can be very dangerous. It can be very detrimental to your spine and your ankles if you wear heels too much too often. Okay, I also wanted to mention that this actually has a lot to do with bodybuilding and powerlifting, because when you're specifically in bodybuilding is all about aesthetics, aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and you want to have your muscles flexible enough so that you can keep training. And if you have weak ankles, then it can make things a lot harder for you to train properly and have an aesthetically pleasing look. In powerlifting, having strong ankles is super beneficial. Having mobile ankles is super beneficial for having a nice squat. Okay. One of my favorite exercises that I like to do is the ABCs. So you're going to lift my leg up. I'm going to do ABC. So capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D, and all the way to Z. You're going to do about 2 sets each leg. Capital A, capital B, capital C, capital D. My next favorite one, you're going to take a TheraBand. You're going to put it at the base, like at your toes. And I used to do this with clients, specifically with my older clients, like my seniors. And they do this a lot in physical therapy. So if you're a physical therapist, you're watching this, you more than likely are, you know what this is. So you're going to put your toes and you're going to point and flex. So this is flexion, this is extension. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension. You're going to do that 20 times. 1, 2, hold it, point, 1, 2. Pretty basic, but it works. It's a little bit complicated. I don't really like to do it alone. So if you have a partner that can help you, it would be much more beneficial. Big toe, like so. And all you're going to do is you're going to push your ankle to the side and back center. Side, back center, side, in, side, in. Okay, this is inversion, eversion. You want to keep the resistance pulling that way as you're pushing your foot out. Powerful exercise if you do it right. You do 20 times to the right, you do 20 times to the right, 20 times to the left. So 20 times outward, 20 times inward, like you're doing a windshield. Okay, so the next exercise is pretty simple. It's just the calf raise soleus. If you go to the gym, they have a soleus machine, and that machine works. It has magic powers because it's going to strengthen your soleus, your calf muscle. Okay, the soleus is what really helps you with jumping. So if you're into power work, if you're into powerlifting, if you're into any sport that requires jumping, you need to strengthen your soleus. So you sit on the machine. You could do it at home. I'm very basic, so you could sit at home, get a weight or get a gallon of milk, and just lift your ankles or lift your your calves, and come back down, up, down, up, down. You should feel this is your soleus, this is your calf. You should feel the muscle like getting tensed up. Calves and soleus are kind of like deltoids. This is your deltoid. Your deltoids need a lot of volume. They need a lot of kind of intensity, if you will. Your soleus, your calf, is the same thing. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of blood so that it can grow. It's not like your legs were. I mean, your legs need a lot of work too, but a lot of this is also genetics. Calves is a lot of genetics. Most of genetics, actually, purely genetics, to be honest. But I think that you can always, keep working at it and just never give up on trying to grow them as big as you can. Shoulders, same thing. If you are, taking some sort of, enhancement or whatever, obviously your delts are going to be a little bit bigger, but generally speaking, the volume intensity is going to be a lot for your delts and for your calves if you want to see them grow. Another thing that you can do is to start training barefoot. So I like to train my barbell squats barefoot at times, depending on the type of squat that I'm doing. So if I'm doing safety squat bar squats, then I'll do barefoot because I find that the SSB puts more load, a little pushes you more forward, and you have to force yourself more back. It's a good exercise, in my opinion, to do it barefoot. So you can do that. You can also do like plyometrics barefoot. Some people would disagree with me on that. I have a very kind of unorthodox way of thinking, kind of getting creative with exercises. But if you're up for it, you can technically jump on boxes and making sure that your landing is good. So like I used to do plyometric type box jumps. And I've done it before without shoes. I find that puts puts a little bit more emphasis on the strength of your feet versus if you use Metcons or if you use Converse or lifting shoes. I definitely wouldn't recommend you jumping with lifting shoes on. I've seen some people do that, and it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So don't do that. Another thing that you can do to strengthen your calves is if you are a kind of strength athlete, or if you're a athlete in general, like any sort of sport that involves jumping, you can do barefoot jump rope. I've done this several times, or I'll just jog in place, or I'll do burpees barefoot. The jumping aspect and making sure that you're landing with your toe heel seems to do wonders. I mean, I've done it for a long time, and I've been able to have healthy ankles for the things that I do, whether it be dancing or powerlifting or gymnastics or jiu-jitsu or whatever. Having strong ankles is really important, and that seemed to really help me. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. It's a little unorthodox. It's a little weird. It's kind of confusing. So I'm just going to try to show you as best as I can. I'm going to start out in what we call plie position in ballet and in dance. So you're going to have your feet out like a duck. And then you're going to bring your feet together, and then bring your toes together and your ankles out. And then out, back in, center, back out. Okay, so if I back up, I do it again. I start here, I go in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Okay, they do that a lot in gymnastics. So, or if you're into dancing, that's one of my super secret exercises for strengthening the ankles. And you want to do that for time. So do 20 seconds down, 20 seconds back, 2 sets. Do it about 2-3 days a week, or before you do any sort of training like basketball or football or whatever. So those are the exercises for the ankle. I hope that was helpful and useful. If it was, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like the video, or at least consider liking the video. share it with a friend, and click below for more information on my blogs. And if you want a custom program, feel free to email me or any questions that you may have. I will be doing more videos on other topics too for more nutrition. But I hope that this was useful. I have found that I've had several people message me about the ankle stuff, and it deserved its own video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.